Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to another episode of Empire Jeff TV. I'm your host, Empire Jeff, coming to you on a Wednesday night live from Los Angeles, California, home of your Los Angeles Lakers. And today, it's kind of a little bit of a rehash. It's kind of like a refresh. It's kind of like we did the studying, we did the talking. It's to the day of the quiz, the day of the test, and nobody remembers the answers to this stuff, man, because I feel like this is a topic that keeps rearing its head along with a lot of other Laker narratives and a lot of other Laker topics. And we're going to talk about it because it's all pretty simple at the end of the day. And we're going to have some fun talking about it tonight. Now, the Lakers, very polarizing franchise, the biggest brand in the sport, the biggest name in the sport. The Lakers could be the worst team in the league, and they would still be the biggest draw in the league. It just is what it is. The Los Angeles Lakers are that team. They are that brand. That brand is that strong. Now, with that being said, it's kind of a weird scenario, right? So you've got where the Lakers are making the moves that Laker fans want, or the league would want to drive the traffic, or that ESPN would want, or any of the media would want. Like, the Lakers aren't carrying the offseason for the league right now, which the league for so many years was used to, just having them attached to things, having them have some movements, all that. The league needs the Lakers involved in rumors for the rumors to have better legs and to have better life and to reach bigger audiences. That's just a fact. Whether you're a Laker lover or a Laker hater, it goes without saying, the Laker brand in on trade rumors, free agency rumors, waiver wire rumors, whatever it is, you stamp that Laker branding on it. It is going to drive more traffic. It is going to get more clicks. It is going to get more engagements. But it's also going to pull more unemployed clowns than a circus in town. Because what I'm going to tell you is, people are running with these recycled narratives that simply aren't true. I understand it. And it's not even dumb on their behalf. It's smart because people flock to it. Because like I said, the Laker brand. And if you attach the Laker brand with drama or negativity, chaos, toxicity, then it's even better than sitting up here and talking good about the Lakers, or if the Lakers had no problems. So I don't think any of us are naive to that. I think all of us know what time it is when it comes to Laker coverage, Laker drama, Laker chaos, and the crash out portion of Laker Nation. I think we all know what it is with that. We all know. But the difference is, the best part about it is, if you're going to have a bunch of people on the internet tweeting, you got a bunch of people making videos, you got a bunch of people writing articles. If you got everyone out there being able to spread nonsense like it's no tomorrow, well, then you just give us the right to push back on those false narratives like there's no tomorrow. And then you got the back and forth, and then you got the flip side to coins, then you got the different perspectives, then you got debates, then you got arguments, and you got basketball conversations. And one of the narratives that we're going to continue to push back on is the ones where they literally slam anything negative about the Lakers and give no credit to anything that's done right. Now, I'm going to start off by saying this again, as I say almost every show. If Rob Pelinka walked into the Lakers offices today and he didn't have the key code to get in and they fired him, I would not care. Bye. See ya. Thanks for being around the last 9-ish years or so. Thanks for being part of a chip team. Thanks for having a hand in the Luka thing just by knowing Nico or putting work in behind the scenes. Thanks for being part of getting AD. Thanks for getting us out of Russ after you got us into Russ. Thanks. Bye. Simple as that. As simple as that. I have no care in the world. Just like I wouldn't care if Rob walked in the office and quit. I don't care. If the Lakers did not have Rob Pelinka tomorrow, I would not care. Wouldn't care. Now, I'd be excited about what's next, but I wouldn't care that Rob Pelinka is gone. That doesn't change me from trying to slay false narratives about him. and the Lakers organization. So even though I don't care if the guy is gone from the organization, I do care when weirdos get out here and spew fake stuff about the team they claim to love. And that's what we're going to talk about. I'm also going to talk about my theory about Jeanie, the Buss family, how long she'll be the governor. I'm going to talk on that in a little bit. But in the meantime and in between time, I'm going to continue to push back on those who only show up when it's time to blame Rob, but never show up when it's time to give credit. That's going to be a forever battle. Forever. It's going to be a forever battle because you got to stand on both principles. You can't just pick when right is right and when wrong is wrong and look the other way at the other occurrence. It don't work that way. It's not how the game is played. It's not how life is played. So again, I'll even say it slower, which sometimes I have a problem talking slow. I really do. My mind is going a million miles an hour and I got to slow my ass down. But I'm going to say it again. And I'll probably say it multiple times within the show because there'll be people popping in later that didn't see this part. And I'm going to have to keep re-emphasizing it. I could give 2 Fs if Rob Pelinka poofed and disappeared from this organization right now. I don't care. But I'll tell you this, whoever comes in after him, I'd be having the same conversation, shooting down narratives against them too. This isn't a Rob Pelinka thing. It's an idiot. It's an idiotic repellent thing. Channeling and bashing and ripping apart false narratives. So when it comes down to what we're talking about, the Lakers are in play for a lot of things right now. That's an exciting time. But Laker fans, we know what it is. We want instant gratification. We hear these rumors. We want these rumors to have legs. But you guys know that if they're linked to Marcus Smart and Bradley Beal and Andrew Wiggins and et cetera, whatever it may be, you know damn well they can't get all of them. They can't get all of them. You know those graphics every offseason where it shows like all these all-stars on the Lakers? And everyone's like, Laker fans be like, y'all legitimately think we can get all these people? We can't. We can maybe get one. And then when you get one of the people that you've spent part of watching shows, being in chats on shows, joining panels on shows, or doing your own shows, when they actually get one of the people that you've benefited from getting views from, you throw a fit. Or if you benefit getting engagement on Twitter from, you throw a fit. This is wild, right? So the Lakers can't get everybody. Everybody knows that. The question is, who would you be happy with the Lakers getting? Is it Andrew Wiggins? Is it Bradley Beal? Who? Because if you're going to stamp your name on who the only person you'd be happy with the Lakers getting, and you say someone that's pretty much unattainable, then you're one of those that's going to be upset no matter what they do because you have unrealistic expectations. You set unrealistic goals for this team. And I'm going to continue to tell you that as long as you have Luka and LeBron on this team, you're only going to be working around the margins. There's really no massive move you can make this summer. But you can move around the margins. The Wiggins, like I said, if you get someone off a buyout, there's some things you can do. But there's a world where we can come into this season with Rui, AR, Vando, Gabe, and all of everything but the free agent. Everything, and then add the free agent additions along with bringing back Jackson Hayes. Now, I don't think anyone, myself included, would be thrilled about that, which is why I don't think that's going to happen. But do I know? No. I have no idea. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that would be unacceptable. Wouldn't be happy about it. My hope in the event of that happening would be that something's going to happen in training camp early in the season. I don't know. But I wouldn't be happy about it not happening. So that's a fact. But we can't sit up here on July 9th when there's still a ton of trades probably going to happen in the NBA and all these GMs get together in Summer League, even if they come back from Summer League and there's not a deal done, I think that's just kind of like the new way that the NBA is going to be. I've talked about this before. They've murdered one of their best revenue generating, one of their biggest money opportunities, which is the offseason, the trade deadline, even the buyout market. All of that has been kind of marginalized with this new CBA to a point of teams really not wanting to spend anyways. That second apron, teams aren't even really getting close to it, a lot of them. So that second apron really isn't the boogeyman except for the super billionaire owners, and they're even running from it. Because a billionaire doesn't get to be a billionaire just by throwing away money for nothing without getting a return on it. That's not how they're built. So the CBA has both helped the league and hurt the league in different areas. So it's helped the league with parity, competitive balance, giving teams a chance. You've got the new CBA. You've got the play-in. You've got all these different avenues to drive revenue to keep teams in the fight longer. The in-season tournament, so teams that probably aren't even going to make the playoffs have something to play for, even if they're not contending for a play-in. You have all these different avenues for the league to try to drive revenue, drive advertising, drive fan engagement, drive attention. But at the end of the day, you end up with OKC and Indiana in the finals. You don't have any of the biggest brands in the sport in the finals. You don't have them sniffing the finals. I don't care what you say, that's going to hurt the brand. That's going to hurt your brand. That's going to hurt the NBA's brand. If you don't have the Lakers, Knicks, Celtics, any, at this point, the Warriors, any of the iconic franchises, you don't got to have them all there. But if you don't have one there, the brand is going to suffer. Now, the Warriors kind of got a somewhat new-ish ownership group. You know, they bought them before the dynasty run. The Boston Celtics have a new ownership group, right? The Knicks don't. And now the Lakers do. Mark Walter, the Guggenheim Group, all of them are coming in the building. And what you got to really pay attention to here is it's going to be said that Jeanie's going to remain the governor for 5 years, at least. At least 5 years. I think it's going to be between 5 and 6 years. The governor. Now, the governor doesn't mean that she doesn't have to answer to the people that she's spending money to. Doesn't mean that she doesn't have to seek approval to long-term commitments or movements within the franchise without their consent. It doesn't mean that she's still not working for someone else. And let me tell you, when you are working for someone else, departments have budgets, and you're going to have to stay within those budgets. And if you've got caps on years to 2027 or whatever it may be, that it sounds like Mark Walter and his group are already putting restrictions on his front office to make sure that they can't make an idiotic move that they can't get out of in 2 years. Unless it's a move that they probably approve for a guy that everyone's in on within the organization, that everyone agrees to. Like a Giannis. Like, I'm just saying it's not going to happen like a Wembanyama. Like, it's going to have to be like someone that everyone in the league would want, and everyone in the Lakers would vote to a man and woman, say, yes, get this guy. Doesn't matter if he just signed a new deal. Get him. Outside of that, I don't see the Lakers being able to add anyone past 2 years without approval. And that's pretty much probably what it's going to be. So to blame the Lakers front office for that is kind of difficult. But to me, it's like, sometimes players get paid off of what they did in the past, not necessarily what they're going to do in the future. And so Rob is kind of right now getting blamed for this offseason for what he's done in previous ones, which I totally understand. And it's not even unwarranted, to be honest. Rob Pelinka has done enough to bring unwanted attention to himself, blame to himself, rage against his performance. He's done enough to brought that against himself. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. Again, I'm going to continue to say, this is not in defense of Rob Pelinka. This is in reaction to false narratives. The narrative that Pelinka has no one he can do business with in the league, that no one in the league wants to work or negotiate with him. All false. All false. Woj slammed that idea. All false. Doesn't make him any better of a GM just because people don't dislike him as much as people thought. But that's still a false narrative. Very similarly to how you guys were all running crazy, running outside without any clothes on, like there's a high-speed chase outside your house, overreacting to Jackson Hayes getting a no-trade clause that he never had. Remember that? Remember that? I do. I do. So Rob Pelinka and Jeanie Buss may be around for a while. Maybe not Rob. Maybe he's gone in 6 months. Maybe he's gone in a year. But maybe he's here. I don't know. But it's sounding like Jeanie is going to be able to be here for at least 5 years or as long as she wants to be within that 5 years. Now, the reason why I don't think she will leave before the 5 years, I'm going to touch on that in a little bit. But this is smart business by Jeanie. Mark Cuban's wishing he did this, and he didn't. And what I've always said about Jeanie, and what I will continue to say about Jeanie, is Jeanie in the role that she was destined to be and designed to be and put into, not the one of having to be the governor because she had to kick her brother out and kick Mitch out and John Black and all them. It was never meant for Jeanie to be the final voice in basketball decisions other than signing off in the end, right? Her brother got fired because he was making trades without checking with essentially the owner. There's not a GM in the sport that can make a deal without approval pretty much from the ownership. Now, whether it's given in advance, but if the dialogue is, yeah, that you talk trades, but we have to give final approval. Mickey Arison of the Miami Heat used to pretty much give Pat Riley full autonomy to do whatever deal he has. But he was given that clear directive. And Jim Buss clearly wasn't. So when he violated that, that was a fireable offense. So in this situation, I guarantee you Rob is going to her with all these things. But it's never should have been Jeanie in that role to begin with. She tried to bring in Magic, but that was never going to work. Magic was never going to work every day in his life. He doesn't have to. He came in. He had a little bit more sparkle to the organization. He had a face to it. Got Jim and Mitch and them out of there. They should have kept John Black. They let John Black go because of his allegiance to Jim Buss. But John Black right now in the middle of all this, when everyone's bashing the team, he'd be out there front and center every day taking questions, pushing back, talking to the media, giving answers. A role like that is helpful for an erratic fan base, for a crash out fan base. A role like that is very important. And they don't have him anymore. They got rid of him when they cleaned house. And that's on Jeanie. But what is she going to do? She couldn't keep a guy in the building that was loyal to her brother because then they'd have an inside information on what everything she was doing. So Jeanie is going to hold on here as the governor for 5 to 6 years. But Pelinka, we don't know. Nobody knows. It's safe to say and assume that at some point, the Guggenheim guys are probably going to want their own people in there. But do they give Jeanie some leeway on that with him for a few years? Remains to be seen. Is Rob grandfathered in with Jeanie until she cuts the umbilical cord, essentially? We don't know. What we do know is the news came out today that Jeanie Buss will be the governor of the Lakers for at least 5 more years. And I think that Jeanie will be the governor for 5 to 6 years. And I think that Jeanie and the Buss children will dip out in 2031 after the Lakers sign their next big TV deal. With the remaining 15% or so that they have in the team, I think that 15% they have now will be worth a ton more than it is right now after that new TV deal. And I think they dip then. And I think that is why she added that stipulation to the deal to stay governor for at least 5 years, which will get us to 2030. And then her final year, more than likely, will be when the Lakers get that TV deal. And their value goes up even more. And that 15% they have now, at that point, will probably feel like 40% in payment right now. Maybe more. So it just makes sense. It's smart. It's the side of the business that Jeanie was designed to be on. The business side, the branding side, the marketing side. Not who plays point guard, not who plays center. Not how do we maneuver our salary cap? How do we work our cap numbers for the next year or two to get free agents or trade people in and all these aprons? That wasn't supposed to be what she did. So considering that, and considering that she was our governor when we got a chip, I think that's pretty hard to pull off. You know what I mean? For someone who wasn't even supposed to be in that role, going and making these decisions to fire her brother, bring in Magic, bring in Rob. It's a known fact that Magic was hardly ever at the facility, that he was hardly working. He was there to be the face. That's why I said that things that went wrong under that watch while Magic was there, that Magic does not get blamed for, but they blame Pelinka, is wild when they don't give Pelinka the credit for things that went right when Magic was there. That's the narrative I'm pushing back on. Did LeBron and AD and Clutch birth the idea of AD to the Lakers? Of course. Of course. LeBron and Clutch had more to do with that than anybody, more than Magic. And what got LeBron to the Lakers was really them getting rid of Jim, Mitch, that portion of the organization, and bringing in a new regime at that point that no one really knew what they even were. That's what got LeBron to the Lakers. Had they brought in almost anybody else, you know, they said that, the report came out that LeBron already made up his mind to join the Lakers before he even met with Magic. Like that was released. Now, Magic didn't mess it up. He didn't go there and like do that thing where he, had the deal done and kept talking and talked him out of coming. He didn't do that. But that was already done. KCP was already in the building doing recon. They'd already put a Blaze Pizza in Staples at the time. This was all coming. Anyone that was paying attention at the time to the business moves being made by LeBron and his camp and everything else, this was coming. That deal that the Lakers did with the Cavs to free up the cap space to get LeBron, that was the wildest thing ever. And LeBron came here by himself with no guarantee that another star was coming. Everyone thought Paul George was going to come that summer with them. He didn't. Everyone was thinking they were going to maybe trade for Kawhi. They didn't. Couldn't. Pop wouldn't allow it. The next summer, they get AD. They tried for Kawhi. And the rest is kind of history from there. A couple good years, some really bad years, and some mid years. So on average, when you look at it, Rob Pelinka, during his tenure, has a championship, but he has some really bad moments. Jeanie Buss has a championship and has some bad moments. But in the end, she delivered because she lined it up to make sure that when she sold, it would be to the ownership group that most of the people in Los Angeles would be happy about, and that would be able to take care of this team for now and the future, and kind of give Laker fans that feeling that Dodger fans have had since they took over, outside of the 6-game losing streak they're on right now. But I think you're already starting to see some of the impact of Mark Walter owning the team. You're going to see even more. There are already things that are being done, I'm telling you. Bringing in more player development guys, bringing over Robinson. There's going to be more. You're going to start hearing things about the facility. You're going to start hearing a lot of things about what the Lakers are doing. When you know about like these chefs and all these things these guys got over at the Dodgers that they do for their Dodger players, you're going to start seeing this become a reality for Laker players and the Laker G League players. You're going to start seeing all this. And there's no way that Mike Walter and the Guggenheim Group is going to wait 5 to 6 years to start putting more money and more resources into this team. So it doesn't matter who's the governor when the actual CEO or the top shareholder or the owner is the one pumping money into the system of the Los Angeles Lakers. It doesn't matter who the governor is at that point, because the governor's not cutting the checks with their own money. They're going to operate under a budget that the Guggenheim Group gives them. And now there's going to be someone who has a final say on big spending or long-term spending that is not part of the organization of the last 5, 6, 7 years. And that's just the reality. And I think that's a good thing. I've often said that I don't have a problem if Rob stays. I don't care if he goes, but I don't have a problem if he stays as long as we get someone between him and the boss. So if we got someone in the chain of command between Jeanie and Rob, and let Rob work the phones, let them go out the due diligence, take other teams' offers, submit offers on behalf of the Lakers, and then get back and meet in the war room and decide, we need that man in the room to be that guy for Jeanie. That's who we need. Rob is fully capable as a former agent of navigating the CBA, the money, the tiers, and all that, talking to other teams, reporting back, and the Lakers be able to act on that. He's more than qualified to do that. I've never liked him as the final decision guy. So even when I've backed up some of his decisions, I've never liked him as the main guy. Never have. But to be honest with you guys, I didn't like Magic as a main guy either. I knew he'd be a face. I knew he'd be something that would gain that would gain excitement. But Magic has quit on the Lakers multiple times. That was inevitable. It truly was. He did what he needed to do at the time, which was show up, be there, bring some excitement. So Magic does. He adds life to things. He makes an old toy shiny again. And at the time, when she fired her biological brother, she got one of her play brothers, you know what I mean? Brother from another mother in there when she needed him at the time. She had to go to court against her own siblings. And when that happened, she reached out to her brothers within the industry, Magic Johnson and Kobe Bryant. And one thing that Jeanie will get slammed for is keeping it in the family and taking care of their own and being around all the Laker retreads and all that. You know, the Boston Celtics do that too. They take care of their own. That's one thing I've always liked about the Celtics, that once a Celtic, always a Celtic thing. It's real. It's real. And iconic franchises should do that. The Yankees, the Dodgers, the Red Sox, the Lakers, the Celtics. You know, the Knicks have always been very good at that, except for kicking Charles Oakley out because the owner's a moron. But taking care of your own and keeping people part of the party is different than having them in the room when decisions need to be made. It's great to have confidants. It's great to have people you trust. Linda and Kurt Rambis have been in this league for 40 years. I understand that they know the game, they know everything, but they have no business, neither one of them, being the final say in basketball on the court decisions. Linda Rambis on the side with Jeanie, where she's always worked on the business side of the brand. From everything I've understood, she's been very good. Very, very good. But she absolutely has she should have no say in what happens on the court. And it's great that Phil Jackson loved Kurt Rambis and trusted Kurt Rambis and my Magic John, all these guys. And it's great. Byron Scott got fired. He was a Laker lifer too. He got fired. Jerry West had his season tickets revoked. And I know it's an uncomfortable conversation to talk about, but he brought that on himself. I love Jerry West. Love him. God rest his soul. But that man was so damn competitive that he damaged relationships. He did. So my point is, Jeanie can get gangster when she has to. My thing is, again, my concern always has been purely a Jeanie and Rob regime. That is, I stand with everybody on, being a problem. But if you add to this organization, you staff it right, you add the proper team in there, you have the proper vision, and you grind out an offseason, you grind out a plan, and you put together a plan, and you have the Guggenheim guys over there look at it and add and sprinkle some of their stuff on top of it to make it better. Now, more than ever, is when you're going to start to see it. Now, I don't believe in any way, shape, or form that there's any chance that the league doesn't approve this sale, but it's not official until October. So therefore, the Guggenheim Group may, they may be making recommendations. They may be doing this. They're in the transition stage right now. In the transition stage. It's like when a president wins in November and everybody knows he's going to be the president, but the other guy's still in office till January. It's kind of where we are with this. You have lame duck coaches, and now you got a lame duck governor. Everyone knows that Jeanie ain't going to be the main person in this organization much longer. Everyone knows this. And with that, I'm sure that the Guggenheim Group is like, look, you're going to have people trying to get one over on you one last time. You're going to have people trying to cash in on a favor. Same thing as the presidency. The president's about to dip out. He starts pardoning this, pardoning that, pardoning this, right? Doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And I'm sure Guggenheim and Jeanie, because of that relationship, they're going to be like, nah, we don't want you to, let's just, let's chill. Nothing past 2 years, unless we approve it, and let's go from there. And that's pretty much, I think, why that 2-year thing is out there. I think that's why that relationship is going to be. And the thing for Jeanie for the next 5 to 6 years, I think that's another chance to put her family in a money grab position that when that new Laker TV deal comes in, the Buss family gets to cash one more big check on the purchase and the sale of that last remaining 15%. And maybe they only sell 10% and the Buss family keeps 5%, and that's theirs forever. Maybe. But I just feel like she is going to stick around in one way or another until that TV deal is signed. And then I think she rides out into the sunset, and it's all she wrote. And it's a wrap. What's going on again, everybody? This is Empire Jeff. Welcome to Empire Jeff TV. We're talking the Los Angeles Lakers offseason. We are talking about the report that got out again today that Jeanie Buss will be part of the Los Angeles Lakers organization and be the governor for at least the next 5 years. Again, this is all news, but when you got nothing going on in the world of basketball, they got to recycle Laker news to make the offseason interesting. They got to repackage it. They got to rebrand it. They got to take the blue magic and call it something else. But I will insist that you call it purple and gold magic, because that is trademark infringement. American gangster, baby. But I don't necessarily hate the way this is going, as long as the Guggenheim Group protects its interests for over these next 5 years, and I know they will. I know they will. That organization, the people involved there, they're way too smart. They're way too good. They know what they're doing. There's no way that they just hand this over spend the money, and it's like, all right, we'll holler in 5 years. No way. No way. It's not going to happen. It's definitely not going to happen. So I haven't been able to get to all your chats. I'll do my best to catch up to some of them right now. We'll rip and run through some of them, but curious to see what you guys think. I don't believe for a second that Jeanie will be, the head chief, when it comes to everything for the future. I think she's fine with that. I think Guggenheim and Mark Walter's not a front and center type of guy anyways. He's got Stan Kasten over there, like at the Dodgers. He's not the guy that needs to be in front of the cameras, all up in the videos, all up in the press conferences, all up next to LeBron. He doesn't have to be in any of that. He doesn't have to be. Doesn't have to be. Mark Walter, in a lot of ways, couldn't be more opposite than Dr. Buss. They're two totally different types of people. Dr. Buss was a star. Dr. Buss was a star as much as any player was on the team. That's how great of an owner was. That's how great he was. He was a superstar owner. He was a celebrity owner. Mark Walter is not even interested in being that. Mark Walter is more interested in walking down the street looking like he's got no money and chilling like most billionaires carry themselves. And him being behind the scenes, I think is going to be good. And I'm not worried about Jeanie being here for another 5 years because, like I said, she's just going to be the face. And at the end of the day, no matter what you want to say about Jeanie Buss, she's a prettier face than Mark Walter. All right? So appreciate y'all again. Make sure to drop a like on the video if you have not done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. You can become a member to the channel. Got 3 different tiers of membership for less than the cost of lunch. You could become a member for an entire month. Hit that join button or hit that first link in the description to get it. This show is obviously brought to you by Fanatics. Make sure to get your MLB, NBA, NFL gear, and more by using our link to get special discounts at Fanatics, and your purchase also helps support the channel. We've partnered with them, so when you order through them via us, they take care of us because we sent you their way. So all the gear you'd be getting anyway, you get some discount codes, you help support the channel, everybody wins. All kinds of Laker gear, all kinds of Dodger gear, whatever your NFL team is, and more. Tap that link in Fanatics. Shout out to everyone who's already made their purchases over these last few months, man. Moving up in the tiers in my group over there. So shout out to you guys and all the purchases you guys have made. Search was destroyed. What's going on, my brother? Search, the mod god, the god of mods, the mod father, the absolute best in the business. Happy to have you here. Love you, brother. Festo, what's good, my guy? What's going on? Patty Wagon, Drip Show, what's going on, man? Hope you guys are all doing well. Eric Kwan, what's up, my guy? Appreciate you as always. Chris, Drip Show says bye-bye, Rob. Hey, they very well could be happening. Like I said, if you guys are coming in late, go back and watch the beginning. I don't want to repeat myself much in this show, but I'm going to say it again here. I do not care if Rob Pelinka is out of the building tonight, tomorrow, the next day. I don't care about that. What I care about is false narratives, and that's what I'm here to defend and push back. Yeah, Daniel Barry, the Dodgers. Ugh. Trey, all day. Salute to you, brother. Hope you are doing well as well. Good to see you up in here. Rob's money is guaranteed. Yeah, it's guaranteed for sure. He gets paid regardless. So that's why I said he's grandfathered in one way or another, either in the building or getting his check. Either way, he's getting paid. He's getting paid for sure. Let's see. Yahoo Sports is a rumor mill. Can't stand everyone at this point is a rumor mill. I'm assuming who you mentioned who you'd want to trade for at this point. Kane Carter, what's going on, my guy? Yeah, movie expirings. Drip Show says Rob should be watching this episode. It'll be great if he was, but I doubt he is, man. I doubt he is. Rob don't be paying attention to little nobodies like me, man. Roy, what's going on, Roy? Appreciate you. Salute to you. Hope you are doing well. Patty Wagon says it's cool either way, but I think they need to pick a direction. This I agree with, and I think they will. I also agree that Jeff says facts. I appreciate you, Trey, all day. It's not Pelinka, it's the organization itself. Yes, I agree with this. There is a Laker tax. We are the face of the NBA, and there is jealousy. Can you say 10 billion? Yeah. And 10 billion isn't going to necessarily be what the Lakers sell for. That's the valuation. They're going to sell for the controlling percentage of that 10 billion. They're not paying 10 billion for it. So just want to be clear about that. John Black was not happy LA let him go. No, should he be? And he's a guy that we miss right now. He'd be front and center in the midst of all this stuff with all these crash out fans and all these you imagine when John Black was here and all those weirdos pulled up to was it Crypt? I think it was still Staples. When they pulled up to Staples Center and was having that little weirdo protest when Clipper Darrell pulled up out there and all that. Could you, like, come on, man. Like these are the type of fans we have in our fan base that do that. That's wild. Juan, what's good, my guy? What's up, Jeff? The bottom line is Rob and Jeanie both need to get out and let the new owners take over and work the Dodger magic. The sooner, the better for everyone. I think the sooner is here, man. I think it's here. I think it will, be official in October, but I think they're already kind of working together, man. Like I said, it's like a presidency. I think there's already a transition in play here. I really do. We got Oswaldo over on Twitter X. Appreciate you, brother. LeBron took on the challenge and delivered. Of coming to the Lakers, yeah, he did. He came alone. He won the chip. I agree. What's going on, Keo? Can the Lakers trade Braun already? They can. I do not believe that they will, though. We'll see. Kurt, what's going on, Kurt? Appreciate you, brother. Hey, Jeff, Lucky and Search. Got early mornings, bro. Wanted to pop in and say what's up. 5 more years of Jay Moore. Let's go. Appreciate you, man. I know everything about those early mornings, man. Appreciate you tuning in, though, man. It's been a minute. Everyone, please like and subscribe. Absolutely. Trail Day said, yo, Jeff, that hat fire. Had to say, appreciate it, man. This is one of my favorite ones. I know the color's kind of off because the lights I have, but it's the purple brim with the black hat with the gold LA. I love this hat. I think I got 2 or 3 different versions of this hat. I love this hat, though. It's one of my go-tos. It's one of my favorites. It recognizes that iconic Dodger logo with the Laker colors. Just ties the whole city in together. So I appreciate that. Lakers, Dodgers for life. What's good, my guy? He said, except for Ray Allen. Oh, I'm assuming you're talking about when I said the Celtics take care of their own. They brought him back recently, though. Did you see that? They've kind of mended those fences now, so that they actually did bring him back. Roy says, Magic was horrible. President of basketball operations. He picked Lonzo over Tatum, traded Zubac for 2 sausage biscuits, mortgaged our future for yeah, and everyone blames Pelinka for the Zubac trade, right? But they won't give him credit for anything that happened. That's one of the things I say I push back on. These moves were terrible, by the way. And I agree. Rob should have to share that blame, but he should also be able to share in the success of getting Braun and getting AD and getting Luka as well, for sure. Joseph, what's going on, Joe Soro of the Joe Soro Experience? Shit, man. I don't even curse on my show. I'm just trying to say your name got me cursing. Damn it, Joe. The Joe Soro Experiment. I have no idea why I cannot get that right, bro. Let's see. There we go. The experiment will always be just that. There he goes. Just in time to correct the fumble. Appreciate you, Joe. I fumbled the ball. He picked it up and took it to the house, man. Appreciate it. Lakers tax is a fallacy. You don't get Luka for used milk in his prime if there's a Laker tax. Yeah. So what I say is the Laker tax is something that I think is completely overblown. I agree with that. I always use the DeJounte Murray situation as it because they paid what the Lakers wouldn't pay, and there's not a Pelicans tax. It's just they wanted a price. The Lakers felt it was outrageous, didn't pay it, and some other team did, but they paid the price that they asked the Lakers for. Now, are there things where there are some maybe GMs scared to get fleeced by the Lakers or scared to send anyone there and face criticism from within the league or why are you helping the Lakers? I think that's more of a thing than a tax. I think there's some people who genuinely just don't want to help the Lakers. But the tax thing, that's something that I think is overblown. There's a tax per se, but I think it's more or less of certain people just not wanting to help the Lakers because there's some jealousy there. But I don't think it's over here like, look, we're not sending it to you unless you pay this, but we'll send it to this team for that. We've seen deals that have gone through and everyone's like, oh, that's it? The Lakers just decided to not make the deal. Like, not to make the deal. I guarantee you the Lakers could have got Cam Whitmore if they wanted him. Everyone was throwing fit about what he went for, the 2 second-round picks. The Lakers could have did that. They didn't want to. Most of the league didn't want to. Phoenix didn't want him. So it's like people do it for, oh, they were probably one of the first-round pick from the Lakers. It's not true. He's undesirable. He's undesirable. That's why he wasn't drafted until when he was. It's a lottery talent. Wasn't drafted where he should have been. And now he didn't get a return on the trade like he should have been. So the tax, I get it. It's fun to say. I'm not going to say it's 100% non-existent. I'm not saying that, but it's nowhere near to the extent that it gets, thrown out there to be. MT Blooms, what's going on, man? Which star to pair with Luka after LeBron? What's the Nostradamus take? I say Tatum. I don't say Tatum only because it would have to be via trade, and I do not see Boston sending their their biggest star they've had in a long time to the Lakers. There was a point in time where a lot of people felt that if the Celtics couldn't win, couldn't get things together, that Tatum may not resign there. But once they won, it sealed the deal there. But the next star, I don't know, because it's not just about the Lakers. It's which next star wants to play with Luka, which I think there's going to be enough of that. But we'll see. Does Joker sign an extension? If not, what do they look like the year that he's a free agent? What do the Lakers look like the year? What does Luka look like that year? You know, at that point, is Giannis, how old is Giannis going to be? Are you going to want to go down that path again like you did with Braun with Giannis? I think maybe not. He's not on a 4-year deal. So I don't really know the answer to it right now. I've said this numerous times. And again, this could be completely false. And I've yet to see this kid reach his full potential yet. Maybe this is the year he does it. But I believe that there was ever going to be a guy that has foregone that first max extension, took a qualifying offer, and decided where he'd go. Wembanyama has always been that guy to me. Now, whether it happens or whether it doesn't, I'm just saying, depending, he's off the court money. If he finds himself in a situation where he starts balling out and he becomes just this international superstar more than he is now because he's playing better, and then I don't want to say the Ohtani effect, but it's kind of like that effect for the NBA. He may be making so much money off the court that he may not need to sign that big deal with the Spurs. He may be able to pick his destination. Again, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying he doesn't like San Antonio. I'm just saying I could see him be the first of his kind to turn down that first major money. I could see it. I've been saying this for a while. What's going on, Sean? Can we find a way to get Rob out? Can we? No. We can't find a way to get him out. Jeanie has to find a way to get him out, and Jeanie has to want to get him out or be told to get him out. And I don't know if or when those series of events are going to happen. Keo says, what do you make of Braun not welcoming DeAndre Ayton and the new draft pick, something or nothing? The same thing I make of now. I may have missed this because I've been crazy busy with work and tied into a bunch of things. And I know the Lakers, last I checked, hadn't even announced the Braun opt-in. Did that happen yet? Because I know it didn't happen. I know it hadn't happened days after that became like a known thing. I didn't see it. May have happened. But Braun not announcing it. Braun is working the machine right now, which is what he's supposed to do, and he should do it. He's keeping his name in the news. Every post, every caption, every like, everything that he does right now creates more attention and drives essentially more attention to him and his brand. It's smart business. It's annoying for some fans, but he doesn't care about that because we're talking about him. And that's exactly what they want. And that's what you want for a guy of his status, is to be relevant, to be talked about, to be mentioned, to have shows done on him, to have posts done on him. All of that is to keep him in the front page, on the front screen, on your For You page, to keep him as the biggest thing going, even at age 40. That in and of itself is impressive. Whether you like it or not, it's incredible branding. So LeBron isn't always doing stuff out of spite or out of anger or out of anything. It's just out of publicity. And he's probably the best we've ever seen at it. Sean says he lies to us every year. Are you talking about Rob? He's a lawyer. He's an agent. This man was born to lie. So this I don't disagree with you on. Patty Wagon says, UC Dallas is hiring all the Lakers assistant coaches. I do. Joe says, Laker tax. Okay, wait. I think I touched on that already. No one knew Tatum would be what he was. That's a hindsight pick. Well, I somewhat disagree with that because there's a lot of people who said during that draft that he was the most NBA ready player and probably the closest to an all-star. And Danny Ainge pretty much knew because he traded back 2 picks in the draft and took him 3rd. So there was enough people that knew it. The Lakers knew probably that Lonzo Ball wasn't going to be the best player in that draft. They drafted him for the story. They drafted him for the splash. They drafted him for that. I, of all the guys in that draft, I wanted De'Aaron Fox over any of them. I liked Tatum. This is when I was actually watching college basketball. I really don't anymore. I don't have the time. I liked Tatum. I thought he would be good. I didn't think he'd be teetering on what you guys label a superstar now. I'm not going to lie about that. But I felt Tatum had a chance to, bar none, be a safe bet to be a perennial all-star. Where Lonzo, I wasn't sure. Josh Jackson at the time, I wasn't sure. Even Markelle Fultz, at this point, a lot of people liked him. I wasn't sure. But Tatum was one of the guys, the two guys that I was most sold on in that draft to make an impact almost right away were Fox and Tatum. Those were the two guys that I want. But I knew we needed a point guard. We had Ingram already, so I really wasn't thinking about Tatum from the standpoint of fit because we had Ingram. I wanted Fox on the Lakers. That's the guy I really wanted, especially after he cooked Zoe in college. So I think a lot of people, because I remember at the time, like a lot of people were high on Tatum. A lot of people. He's getting real happy for the summer league. Needs the Lakers to win. What's going on, sir? Appreciate you. People talking to Joe, let me mind my business. Nick T, what's going on, Nick? Why Jeanie didn't sell the team to Larry Ellison instead? Well, when she sold the portion of the Lakers that AEG sold, basically back to the Lakers, when she sold that to Mark Walter, she gave them the first right of refusal, therefore guaranteeing that as soon as the Lakers became available, it was going to go to Mark Walter because there's no way he was refusing the deal. So the way that first sale of buying back AEG shares went, the second they did that, it made it a guarantee of they'd buy them, just didn't know when. And I'm still shocked that it's now. I'm still shocked that it's now. I've never been more happy to be wrong. Never been more happy to be wrong. And I couldn't, I almost couldn't even dream of it because I thought it was so unrealistic right now. And the fact that it's here now, I still can't wrap my mind around the fact that we have Luka and Mark and Mark Walter is about to own the Lakers. I still struggle to wrap my mind around that as it being real. It's crazy to me. It's amazing, but it's crazy to me. Speaking of crazy, man, 32 likes on, 32 likes, my dyslexia kicked in. 32 likes on the video. Come on, y'all. Drop a like on the video if you have not done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. About 30-ish% of the people here every single night have yet to subscribe, but you're here every night when I do a show. Subscribe to the channel. You'd be appreciated. Become a member, but at the very, very least, the least you can do, make sure to please drop a like on the video. Make sure to follow us on all socials at Empire Jeff TV, on Twitter X, on IG, here on YouTube, as well as on TikTok. So I appreciate you guys who have done so already. Joe says, Lakers have done that with Wilt, Kareem, Powell, and Luka. Lakers are normally busters. So yeah, they are. I mean, they're the desired star destination, even now. That I don't feel like that's ever going to change. Purple and Gold says, just jumping in, Jeff, I like you to collab with Trevor Lane and Sean Davis pod. What do you think about that? I mean, I would love to. I just probably not big enough to do so yet. I've talked about this before. I mean, they both, I know both of them, not just from their work, but I've spoken to both of them. They're both good guys. They're great. They know who I am, and I'm probably, obviously I know who they are because Trevor is probably, if not, it's no probably, he is the pinnacle, right? Top of the mountain of Laker content creation. And even more than that, he's a great guy. He's given me gems. He's always made time for me whenever I've asked anything. Good dude, really good dude. And I would love to work with them. I still feel like I got dues to pay though. I'm still grinding it out here. I'm barely getting back into basketball. So I would love to. I appreciate that. I appreciate that you hold me in that regard to think I'm worthy enough to hold conversations with those guys. But yeah, I still got work to do. I still got a lot of grinding out to do. Still got a lot of dues to pay before, you can't just go work with the king, off top. You know what I mean? You gotta put in your work, earn that respect and earn that trust. And that's what I'm trying to do right here. So I appreciate you. Trey All Day says, yo, Jeff, class in session. I hope the Lakers fans are listening. I hope so. Not everyone likes what I have to say. Not everyone likes it. And I'm okay with that because I damn sure don't like what a lot of other people have to say. And that's what makes it great. That's what makes the dialogue great. But I think to me, it's very simple. When you just take it for what it is, when you look at it at face value, when you just get down to brass tacks and really take things for what they actually are, it's very simple when you slow down, stop crashing out, even when things are bad. And it's like, damn, really? All right. Screaming, yelling, throwing tantrum as grown-ass men doesn't change a thing. It doesn't. There's plenty of spaces and channels if that's what you're looking for. It's just really not a thing here. And that's okay. I can get all the people that are looking for what I bring to the table. And there's plenty of other people out there that bring the contrary to the table. I feel like my lane has more opportunity. And that's where I'm going to stay. I'll say it again. I will always say this. I have respect for anyone that's a dedicated content creator because I know how hard it is. It's a struggle for me to get up here and do shows nightly. It's a struggle. With my schedule to get up here, do shows nightly, get these clips going, all that stuff, like it's a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work. So I salute and appreciate and respect anyone, even if it's content I don't necessarily enjoy myself, because there's musicians whose music I may not love myself, but I respect their musicianship. I respect their grind. I respect what they put in. And that's the same thing with content creation. I may have some fun and some, have fun discussing some takes or whatnot, but outside of that, I will always respect the content creator's grind. Always. And it is it's tough. It's hard. And get up here and have kind of a little different style than most of Laker Nation who cover the Lakers and usually like to be on the negative side or the bashing side, or again, I always say I get labeled as being too positive. I'm not positive. I'm just realistic, and I've just got self-control over my emotions. I get just as upset with the loss, but I get over it though quick. I get over it very quickly, and I've often explained this. I think it's my coaching background, and I think it's just working with the youth and working with children and having to teach them to keep their emotions in check. What would I be if I can't practice what I preach? Right. So when it comes to fanhood, because I've been that guy, I've broken TVs, I've broken windows, I've broken bones, getting so mad over a loss. I'm not that guy no more. I've grown up. I'm very passionate, very, very passionate. Anyone that's ever been to a Dodger game with me, you can hear me all over that stadium. Like I'm loud, right? I'm very passionate, but I don't lose my whole mind when things don't go my way or my team's way. I just don't. So appreciate the compliment. Thank you. Let's see. Talking to Joe, let me mind my business. Talking to Serge, let me mind my business. No Laker tax. You'll see how true that is when Mark Walter officially takes over. I don't know what he has to do with the tax, because the asking price for certain people who just don't want to help the Lakers is probably going to see their same mentality. But the tax of them wanting to spend doesn't mean they're going to spend less intelligently, Giannis is a little overrated, says Nick T. A little overrated? I think he's great. Maybe, I don't know if he's like, that dude, right? But I think he's great. Why didn't we get Whitmore for 2 seconds? They didn't want him. Just like the Suns didn't want him in the KD trade. A lot of teams didn't want him. If I'm a GM, I have fun and I poke fun at the whole Cam Whitmore situation, because it's funny to poke fun at the crash outs. But if I'm a GM, I seek permission to speak with him and his representatives. And if I like what I hear, I take a chance for 2 second-round picks on his lottery talent, even if he never reaches it. If I feel comfortable with the conversation I've had with him and his representation, if I feel comfortable about that, I would have given up 2 picks for him. I would have, even though I have fun poking fun at that situation. It's not at him. It's not at him. I would take a flyer on him for 2 second-round picks if I was comfortable with the answers to the questions that I had for him. I would absolutely do that. But the Lakers didn't have 2 second-round picks anyways. That's the main reason why they didn't. What's going on, Dante? I'm not saying LeBron is getting traded, but if you did, I believe Dallas would make sense. I could see Neek giving up flag in the deal. Oh, no. God, no. God, no, Dante. There's no way in holy hell that he would give up Flag in the deal, because he's not even that crazy. And the new Dallas Mavericks ownership group was not even that crazy. There's no way. There is a negative $1,000,000% chance that they would send Flag to the Lakers for LeBron James. No. Kane says, I don't want to start. Just give me legit role players. You mean stars? Sorry. Yeah, that's what they need. Purple and Gold said, hey, Jeff, did you hear about Bradley Beal prefers the Lakers over the Clippers? Your thoughts? I didn't hear that. But I did, my show yesterday was based on that I was hearing that Bradley Beal to the Lakers was more possible yesterday than it was the day before. I thought the Clippers were in the driver's seat. They still might be. But I had heard yesterday that Bradley Beal and the Lakers was more realistic than what I had been considering. I had someone tell me that directly. And again, not saying the Lakers are the favorite, because I don't think they are. But they're in the fight. They're in the chase. And Bradley Beal is intrigued with playing here. But again, I do believe that if the Lakers do get Beal, then I think a trade of Austin Reeves, maybe even LeBron, but I don't think it'll be LeBron. I think a trade could potentially be in the works, because it doesn't make sense to get Beal if you're keeping Austin, and Austin and Beal both have to start, because Brad Beal is not coming for a bench role, I don't think. And I know the Lakers aren't going to put Austin Reeves on the bench in a contract year. It's not going to happen. We forget celebs, public figures are professional liars, same as GMs. Oh, yeah. But yet LeBron posts that white people are taking thing out of proportion. Again, he's crafty. He's very good at what he does. You don't have to like LeBron. You don't got to love LeBron to recognize that he is a good marketing machine. Like he can take a complete non-story. Who else in the world, answer me this question. Who else, my chair is getting caught up on my cord here. Who else in the world, and this, no disrespect to what I'm about to say, but who else in the world could make something so vanilla and plain of an Allie Clifton post on her IG viral? What other athlete or celebrity has the power to make a very simple and innocent post like that of Allie Clifton and some Cleveland Cavaliers attire, because she's from Cleveland. She's from Ohio. Yeah, she's from Ohio, excuse me. But who else could take such a plain Jane post like that, very innocently, a very nothing post? That post was not created to get massive attention, wasn't a thirst trap photo, nothing. Just a regular, casual picture to be thrown out there on the internet to keep your followers engaged on activity. And all he does is say proper attire to a girl that's from Ohio, wearing an Ohio team's colors. Now, don't get it twisted. He knows what he was doing. He knows exactly what he was doing. But what other athlete would have the power to take an Allie Clifton post to the moon like that? No one. Lakers no longer a mom and pop shop organization. No, they are not. They are Walter Street. All right. They're about to be body bags up in their cash. Keo said, imagine playing Booker $72 million a year. Ugh. I was so sick, I almost knocked the microphone off the stand. Ugh. This is why I'm telling you, Austin Reeves at $30 million. I'm going to continue to say this until it starts calculating in your calculators. Austin Reeves at $30 million, while players that are not as good as him are going to be making $45 to $50 million. And you guys got like Devin Booker making $72 million a year. $30 million. I know it sounds crazy to say right now, and I know it sounds crazy to hear right now. But next summer, when you see some of these contracts and that boost in the cap, which probably will go back to 10% last year, it was 7% this year. It probably goes back to 10% next year because the new TV deal hits and the maximum they can do is 10%. And the only time they haven't done that since the new CBA was this year. You're going to see some guys making crazy, stupid, ridiculous, dummy money. And you're going to see players who are not as good as Austin Reeves make more than $30 million a year. It's just going to happen. And as a result of that, you're going to look back and be like, damn, Jeff was right. 30 million is like that new 18 to 20 million. Yeah, give that to Austin. A team, I'm telling you right now, there will be, shout out to El Guapo and the Three Amigos. There will be a plethora. Say it with me, y'all. A plethora. If you know, you know. A plethora of teams willing to pay Austin Reeves $30 million as long as he doesn't have some type of catastrophic injury. It doesn't just completely fall apart with his play next year. Joe Sora says, deep pockets isn't the catalyst. It's the people he will hire to run things. That's the separation versus all the other owners. This I do agree with. Not that you care, but this I do agree with. Kane Carter said, did AD frustrate me at times? Yeah, but prior to 2022, he legit looked like KD with defense at times. He was phenomenal. What really was the downfall of AD, I feel, was when he bulked up to play center and his frame couldn't handle all the extra added weight of muscle, and his body just couldn't hold up, and it fell apart. And to me, he's never been the same player. And for me, AD was always about his agility, being such an agile player, the athleticism, the agility, all that. Once he lost the step, he lost the agility. AD was never the same player after that. Look at highlights of AD from 2020, and then look at like 2023. He's nowhere near that same player. They age. I get it. But he was like a pogo stick. Like he did the ground, be immediately back up. AD is so much slower now. Hey, he's just not the same type of player. He said, La narcissist. That's funny. La passive aggressive. That's Patty Wagon says, I haven't really seen the Lakers announce Braun opting in. Chris, so see, I haven't seen it yet. Now, maybe they have, but what I'm saying is the Lakers haven't even announced that yet. So it's been a weird thing. 67 on Twitter X. Yes, sir. Make sure to also drop a like on Twitter and repost it to your followers. I'd appreciate it. Nick T, salute to you, brother. Hope you are doing well. What's going on, Joe? Hi, Jeff. Having a gut feeling Beal wants to be a Laker. I don't know if it's is that you saying you have a gut feeling? Maybe he does. Now, him wanting to be and things lining up to that effect are two totally different things. Like if he wants a starting job and the Lakers aren't committed to giving him a starting job, then it probably doesn't line up. If he's willing to come off the bench, which as of right now, I don't foresee, but that could change. Or if the Lakers are willing to make a move of either LeBron or Reeves to open up that starting guard spot, but you're going to be getting a wing down there to help that horrific defensive backcourt of Beal and Luka, then I could see it. But this isn't, to me, it just doesn't make sense to add Bradley Beal to this team as currently constructed. Now, if you go on and add him and you make a move and you shore up the wing, you get a two-way player to help with the defense, that makes a whole lot of more sense. But Bradley Beal just simply being added to this team doesn't make all the sense in the world. Like bro looked special in 2020. He was lighter, smoother off the dribble, and had a speed of a wing. Kind of disappointed how AD ended up though, because he looked incredible. Yeah, that's pretty much what I just said. So yeah, we're on the same page there. Let's see. Trying to catch up here, y'all. Alex said, we're talking to Joe Soto. Let me mind my business. Nico asked Minnie for Anthony Edwards. Minnie said no. I've heard different stories of that. I heard that version, then I heard that wasn't true. So I don't know. I don't know if that one is true. From what I heard is he was scared to talk to anybody because he was scared of it getting out. That he talked to no one else but the Lakers. I don't know if that's 100% true, but I heard a lot of pushback on that rumor. A lot. But obviously I can't confirm it, just saying what I heard on that. People talking to Search. Let's see. Many probably knew Luka would not stay there. I just feel that probably would have leaked. Let's see. Trill. Jovan Buddha said LeBron relationship with the Lakers is iffy, but I wonder if Jeanie was no longer governor and Rob was no longer VPA after this year, would it help LeBron feel better about coming back? Let me say this without The short answer is no. The short answer is no. And I've got some pretty good. I'm gonna touch on that in another video. The short answer is no, and I'll break that down later. But as far as him, if those two were just simply gone, that in somewhat of a teaser here, that would some way make things more difficult on LeBron. And I'm gonna touch on that soon. LeBron became secondary on February 1st. Time for LeBron to peace out next June. He did be as soon as they got Luka, it was on to the next on to the next one. Talking about cupcake. Roy Estrada says, who's going to make the decision whether to bring LeBron back next year? This, of course, is LeBron wants to come back. Is that Jeanie or Walter? Video coming soon. I've got some a video coming soon on that. Please, he will retire next year. Lakers Dodgers for life says, hire me as your manager and I'll make it happen, Jeff. You definitely have the talent, bro. Don't undersell yourself. Hey, appreciate you. No, it's just I'm naturally a humble guy that respects paying your dues, respects the process, respects the journey. I'm not one of these guys that shows up, gets my name out there a little bit and feels I'm entitled or deserve something. That's kind of my approach, right? So I'm not the type to be out there politicking for that. Like, because I don't feel I've done enough for it yet. You know, that I'm that guy that has always had no problem starting at the bottom and working my way all the way up. And that's where this journey is taking me. And I humbly, you know, it's funny because I do consider myself to be pretty humble. I talk trash. I mess around a lot. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can definitely troll the hell out of someone, but those who actually know me, like I'm a very, very caring, humble. I don't have a lot of ego. Like I'm not a like an immensely prideful man. Like as far as like, I'm very, very simple when it comes to my approach to things. So for me, it's more about just like, I'm chilling doing this. I'm working on this. But at the same time, even though I said all those things about myself, I also know not many people can hold me in this space. You know what I mean? Like, I also know what I am. I also know what my capability is. And I also know what I know what I am. You know what I mean? And so I don't ever undersell myself. I don't ever undervalue myself. I don't ever sit back and think I'm not good enough. Nah, I know I'm nice with it. My thing is the journey, the proper, like, paying my dues, respecting the process and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, bro, I know not many can, I know not many can are at the table with me on a lot of different things. I know that already. But my thing is that's just me being confident in my ability. And that's me almost in everything that I set my mind to in business and all these different things. I don't know many people that can compete with me in a space that I'm locked in on. My problem is I haven't been able to fully lock in on this. You know what I mean? Because of my other commitments and other things I got going. But and Laker Dodgers for life, you know, you kind of know a little bit more than most people. You know what I mean? So like you might be one of the only people on YouTube that knows fully what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So yeah, when it comes to me, I don't ever undersell myself. I'm a salesman, man. Like, I don't ever undersell myself. My thing is, I respect the process. I respect those who came before me, no matter how high I hold myself and how great I think I can be or how great I think I am. That doesn't cut the line for me. I respect the journey. That's my take on it. That's always going to be my take on it. But I appreciate you, man. And yeah, maybe I will hire you as my manager. Let's see. Unless the Lakers win it all, then I'd give him a shot to come back for less money. Braun, I mean, like, imagine they do win it all, right? Then you got to think about it, right? And it's like, but yeah, there's no way, there's no chance that I'm paying LeBron anything close to max money after this. This is it. They've gave him his swan song enough, like in contract wise. Does Braun go or will you? Huh? I'm not entirely sure what you're saying, bro. I think all this Jeanie still in charge is all PR stuff. Walter not going to have the I agree, Alex. Joe says, hey, Jeff, does Braun go or will he stay? As of right now, I can only assume. And you know what happens when what they say about people who assume. I can only assume that he stays. And I really believe he's going to stay. If Nico gave up Flag, Nico might as well put his resume on Indeed. If he gives up Flag, he better go on the witness protection, because let's just say JFK won't be the only one that get knocked in Dallas, if you know what I'm saying, man. Dante says, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. What was that? Heard what here first? Did I miss a comment? I'm not entirely sure what you're talking about, but I'm happy if it was heard here first. That would be amazing. If news was broken on this show, that would be great. I'm not a newsbreaker, so that'd be crazy that someone else broke it. That'd be great. Patty Wagon said, why Dallas building their coaching staff out now looking like a possible Braun destination? That's a good point. But the only way that Braun could realistically or even logistically or mathematically or any illy get to Dallas would be if he signs like after he's either bought out. So the next damn, I wanted to do a bit. Okay, I'll just do it. I'll just do it now. I don't believe LeBron gets traded. Where my mind goes to is how much would Braun be willing to give up in a buyout, and how much would the Lakers be willing to pay to agree to it, to where it doesn't really hurt them. Now, the only problem is no matter what you buy him out for, even if he takes a $20 million buyout, you still can't replace him. So I'm looking around at all these teams. The only way I can figure LeBron gets there is via buyout. And if the Lakers buy him out, it doesn't necessarily improve their team this year. So unless he adamantly wants out, I think it has to get drastic. I think it has to get super toxic. I think he has to say, I will not play here. And then he's like, I want to go here, but he can't force us there via trade because it's $50 million. So there would have to be more likely a buyout so that other team can sign him. And he's not going to take like a $40 million haircut. Say the Lakers, okay, pay $10 million, stretch that 10 over whatever years, and go sign for the minimum somewhere. That would be shocking to me because then he just wouldn't have picked up his option. He picked up that option to give him another option. So even if he takes a buyout, he gets an additional, even if he takes a very small buyout, $10 to $15 million, he still gets that 10 to 15 versus opting out and getting nothing and taking a mid-level or a minimum somewhere. So that was just to give him a little bit more of an option, a different play. But I just don't see how a trade to Dallas lines up for LeBron, because they'd have to get rid of half their team just to get him. And I don't know. I don't see it. I could be wrong, but I don't see it. It just doesn't really line up that way. Bill wants the Lakers, but it depends on his role. Yeah, I mean, I think that's fairly obvious, though. Festo says, nah, Bron is irritating. Festo was not a Bron fan. LeBron made a picture with his hat that said, welcome home. Yeah, I mean, again, he's feeding the machine, man. Shake and Rui for Marcus Smart. Would you do that trade? I would. I got to look at the numbers because I haven't even looked at contracts. Like, I haven't even got back to my normal bag of doing that. I would. I think Marcus Smart on this team would be a massive addition. Rui is better than Marcus right now, but I think that the Lakers just need a dog. They need a dog. They need a defensive guy. I think that Rui is. I think Laker fans hold Rui higher than what he actually is. What's up, Black Mamba? But I mean, if I can get Marcus Smart, I'd prefer other players moved out instead of Rui. But I just see Rui as redundant, and I don't see him having a future here. So Marcus Smart's value of being in the backcourt with Luka outweighs anything that Rui can bring in his redundancy role with the Lakers this year. That's just how I feel. I feel he's a better fit. Kane says, okay, yeah, same thing. Marcus Smart is a better fit than Rui. Wait, you said better fit. You wouldn't do that, or did you type that wrong? You said nasty work. Yeah, Trouble. We need to make a trade that opens up an extra spot. Festo says, no, Jeff. No, Jeff. I feel like Festo be talking to himself, thinking he's talking to me sometimes. What is wrong with Jeff? Shut up, Jeff. No, Jeff. LOL. Can't justify 30 for a role player. No, Jeff. And that's what Reeves is. Lakers did him a solid by starting him. Festo, I'm telling you, you're going to see some role players getting crazy money, brother. I'm not arguing with you in today's economics of the NBA. But what next summer is going to look like, my guy? You understand it's going to be 17% higher than last year. 7% this year, 10% last year, plus the TV deal. These players are going to get stupid paid. I hear what you're saying, but I really need you to hear what I'm saying from a mathematical standpoint. It's going to be different as the type of money that's being handed out. $30 million is going to be that new 18 to 20 million. Or maybe even the $15 million mid-level. Like, it's going to be crazy. I'm telling you. Trust me. Rui is not a good defender and is redundant with Luka and Braun. Yeah, I talked about that at length. Talking to Search, let me mind my business. Brian says, what's up, Brian? Dalton connect Shake Milton for AO. Dalton. Yo, this is crazy, but at this point, JHS is having a better summer than Dalton. It's crazy as that is. But yeah, Dalton, I don't know, man. Something's not right between the ears there. I think that trade might have broke him, but I hope that's not the case. I hope he figures it out. I think Vegas is going to be important for him, but he's had a rough go at it to start here. He has not. I haven't really seen much positive out of him really since February. Like, as far as I'm concerned, he's broken right now. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm not saying he can't rally and he can't get back, but we'll have to wait and see. I like Rui, but Mark is a gritty hustler. Yeah, he's perfect for what the Lakers need. AD is still a Laker, if not for Luka, slower or not. Facts. There's only maybe one or two players that the Lakers would have, maybe three players that the Lakers probably would have traded AD for, and that's Luka, that's Anthony Edwards, and probably Wembanyama. Just on what he potentially could be for the amount of time he could be it. Outside of that, he probably would have been a Laker for years to come, maybe even retire there. Who knows? Vando was terrible on offense. Yeah, I'm not going on the path of Vando again. Everyone who watches the show knows my take on that, man. Vando, if used correctly and healthy, different situation. Will he ever be healthy? I doubt it at this point. And two, will he ever be used correctly? Again, I doubt it at this point. AR might be traded. What's up, Ty Church? I agree, especially if they get Beal. Low key, if Minnie moved Ant because of his poor conduct and conditioning, that would make more sense than moving Luka. Not gonna lie. Yeah, I agree. Alex said Wiggins is gonna go to Milwaukee for like 2 bench players and a second, 2 second-round picks. Milwaukee and Miami don't really have the best relationship though, so we'll see about that. Let me mind my business here. If Luka was out on the block, we wouldn't have gotten him. No, we wouldn't have been able to get him. That's why I said everything I heard is that he wasn't shopped at all. It was Lakers, and that was it. LeBron 2 years, 60 or 70 million next year? No. Keo says Phil Handy to Mavs, Mike Pemberthy, Mavs, LeBron's next to be a Mav. Again, I just don't see how a trade would line up, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I am. If you're gonna buy out LeBron, might as well just keep him. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it just didn't make all the sense in the world. If LeBron were to leave, does he take Bronny with him? Probably. LeBron telling Lakers to trade for stars with no money and picks is someone telling to move a pole that was welded to the floor. Yeah. Give me Thibault from Portland. Can he stay healthy, man? Can he? I don't know the answer to it either. Can end up with a Vando situation all over again. Kane says, I'm going to be honest, I like Rui, and he's grown as a shooter, but let's be real. Part of what made him great is the fact that he was a sheer upgrade over none. Yeah, former lotto pick, but the standards were low as well. Yeah. I mean, Rui is, you could replace a Rui, bro. Like, Rui is not, I understand, like people like Rui, but I don't necessarily see him as like a long-term fit here. Okay. Search posting links. Move the expiring contracts, Vando and DK. That's what I want, to be honest, for two-way guys. And they might. They might. Would you do Reeves and Gabe for Bridges? If you're talking about Mikal Bridges, I would, because I think he's the prototypical guy to play next to Luka. I just don't know what New York's asking price is or how high they value AR. But an AR and wow, I just drew a blank. AR and Brunson in the backcourt would be nasty work defensively, but you do have OG, you do have some defensive guys over there to help. But I would do that deal in a second. I just don't know where New York values Austin. Jalen Smith and AO4 would be great on this team to fit two important needs. Yeah, and I've seen his name, come up a lot, but I just don't know what Chicago's asking for them. I don't get how DK is pouring on defense. He's 6'6" athlete and as long as well. He should be a respectable defender. Yeah, it's just he just doesn't have the drive to be a defender. He just is a guy that focuses on offense. I wasn't saying trade, Jeff. I was more implying free agency. Got it. The trade and benching by JJ broke him. Yeah, I think he's a broken player right now. I do. Chet just got his bag. They're gonna have to pay J-Dub next summer. How are they gonna keep all that their core? They're not. Next year is it. Next year is it. They're gonna have to start moving guys out of there. Honestly, Wiggins is the closest thing to a combo of Rui and Vando. Yes. Getting Luka and Ayton, we Laker fans are spoiled. Yeah, we got him, and like everybody's like, oh, he's cooked. Oh, he's not that. I mean, Ayton's guy I think is gonna be solid as long as he's healthy. Thibault has been healthy before last season and is expiring. He'd be a steal for an expiring. Not sure JJ's the right guy for our team. I like JJ as a coach. He just had a bad rookie playoff, but I think his regular season should have been graded fairly highly. Laker fans never happy. We want the absolute best. True. What's going on, Major? I'd take a flyer on Ben Simmons, can guard 2 through 5. Maybe LBJ and Luka can unlock him. I don't think anyone's been able to unlock him, though. So I don't know. I don't know if any team's going to take a flyer on him. With the new ownership, the Lakers will rile the NBA once again. Yep, they will. I'm done with the Rui experiment. Time to move on from him. This I agree. If DK locks in on defense, could that change just by showing the effort? By showing the effort, yes. I just don't know if he has the drive to do it. Once Nico gives up flag, he will have as many statues as Kobe outside of crypto. He's not giving up flag, but that's funny. Rob saying they can see Gabe Maxey having roles in this team. They're saying they can't find trades for them. Or just trying to make it seem like he holds them more value because he's negotiating trades with them involved in them. Damn, I'm like, come on, Cuba. Go run some laps, Cuba. You late, brother. You late. Me mind my business. Kane Carter says, Jeff, you know what's funny? Charles Barkley always been fiercely protected over coaches, yet had no problem in trashing JJ Redick for some reason. I don't know why. I think you know why. What's up, man? Yeah. What's up, Q? I finally caught up to the chat, man. Finally caught all the way up to the chat. Speaking of catching up, man, we got 75 viewers in the building, only 45 likes. Please drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you have not so already. Come on, man.
Acknowledge me, please.
Putting in all this work, and you guys are literally not doing your part here, man. Drop some likes on the video. Subscribe to the channel on Twitter X as well. Make sure to share this to your communities. Share this. Let's spread the show around. Get more viewers. Get more people participating, which helps the show grow. So, greatly appreciate y'all. And I'm pretty much going to shut it down now strictly because Cuba got here late and Cuba pulled up. And we have to shut it down now strictly because Cuba doesn't know what time it is and doesn't get notifications and just would rather be on gossip sites and pulling up to real basketball talk. But that's cool, Cuba. That's cool. No, I'm just playing. Cuba got some work to do on his own. I get it. But on that note, I am going to shut it down. Been rocking with y'all for about an hour and a half. So I got some things I got to do before I knock out for the night. So I appreciate y'all. Moral of the story is I don't have a single problem with Jeanie being around this team. It's just her family's team, her whole life. Her being part of it is not really a problem because she's just going to be the face, and it's a better face than Mark Walter. But Don't get it twisted. Mark Walter, the Guggenheims, and what he builds, the infrastructure and the people that's going to be added to this organization is going to make the Lakers a powerhouse organization on and off the court. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. So appreciate y'all. Y'all can be anywhere in the world, but you are here with me. Make sure to drop a like on your way out. If you're watching the replay, let me know what you think in the comment section. Search, you the best there is in the business. Once again, I love you, brother. Thank you for being here. I will catch you guys on the next one. As always, go Lakers, go Dodgers. Dodgers. Just got depressed. Enjoy the rest of y'all night. Y'all stay safe. I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out of here. Peace.